Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Sagittarius, is number 5 and it says tree. Further says, I root myself deeply so my spirit may reach the sky. Number 5 is coming through strong with this energy. I feel for you, Sagittarius, this is like, a tree is about strong footing, strong rooting. So I feel that you are creating these strong roots in your life, whether it's in your health. You could be into natural healing or herbs. You could be changing up your food diet routines and investing in your health for the long term, whether it's going out, working out, having some workout routines or things like that, that go the distance, that allow you to get that energy and vitality for, for years to come. This could also be that you're trying to set up some portfolios and investment structures that will give you monthly returns or long-term returns as well. This could be stocks and things that you're investing in. But this could also be in terms of like you're actually, participating in, ecology and forests, just like we have like reforestation drives that are going on for the Amazon. And I heard somewhere that trees are also being recognized as persons, somewhere. I think there was a legislation passed or they're talking about it or something like that. I was hearing from a few months ago. But this actually reminds me of how many of you, know about Access Monday. It's like a world tree that comes to really strong with this image. Read up about it. It's like, it's very much aligned with Sagittarius, your energy. You are the archer. You want knowledge. You want expansion, growth, spirituality, higher learning, 9th house, travel. Some of you could be traveling to different places and finally deciding to put down your roots somewhere, settle somewhere. For some of you might be just, shifting up cities and countries and then, buying homes over there for some of you. But this is like in terms of, look at the tree, tree is fertile, it's grows and it can grow in any way, the branches and things like that, You can't predict which branch or how long or how many leaves in tree, how many branches are going to come, right? So it's about being patient and going with the flow. It also speaks of, one of my friends, or maybe I don't know if it's I've heard from somebody that I was talking to that when that person had a child, she planted the tree and she watched the tree and her child, grow side by side. So, and she learned a lot from the tree, like being patient, watering it, nurturing it every single day and seeing how it shapes up. So it grounded her emotions, it grounded her energy. So it could be that what you could actually be planting trees for the long term for fruits and things like that. And that actually really helps with the, your health, your well-being, has that spiritual connection to nature. Some of you could be actually, participating in sustainable practices like, going online and digital rather than cutting trees for paper and other things. But this could also be, learning deeper about some spiritual practices, about philosophy, maybe religion or traditions, or about your home and family ancestors and things like that, that have harming, that connect you to your roots. Now, if you see the roots, they spread far and wide, they communicate. The roots communicate with each other. They have a network in between. You might be expanding in terms of your collaboration, whether it's in your personal life or in your office life. Maybe you're collaborating with a lot of teams. Some kind of network that you're establishing for yourself. But on the contrary, this could also be about, your voice, your words of wisdom, going far and wide, where, it happens that these motivational speakers, when they speak, the words they use, the ideas and their journeys, when they share, it actually plants the seed in our lives, for bringing about that long-term collective change as well. So people who hear that lecture or that, that inspiring talk like TED Talks and things like that, it actually, those ideas, those experiences, they kind of create some kind of a change in our minds, and people who are there in that room hearing that person, it stirs something inside of us to ground ourselves, to create something deeper, meaningful, and, to explore our options around those ideas. Some of you might be naturally going out there in the nature and, taking to more meditation or some kind of ancestral traditions as well with this energy. The next card you have, Sagittarius, is number 19, and it says the Sage. So the number 1, 9, and 10 are coming through strong with this energy. It further says, I expand not just in knowledge, but in wisdom, and I share it with the world. So Sagittarius, the Sage, of course, this is like, the old wise one kind of energy. I'm not calling you old by any chance. I'm calling you wise. So no matter what age you are, Sagittarius, I feel that there is some kind of a depth to you right now. Depth, D-E-P-T-H. Sometimes, the way I talk, people get confused about what I'm trying to say. So I just have to spell this out. So depth, D-E-P-T-H, like in deep. I feel that you're going deep, researching and things like that. But the energy of the Sage is also asking you to spread out. This is an energy of going deep and going wide. Right now, this could be in partnerships where you are collaborating with a lot of people, you're learning a lot to them, and you're integrating all of those talks, those conversations. It could be you're interacting more with, worldly wise people, and you're learning a lot because, it's like, our prior generation, of ancestors and grandparents and great-grandparents, they would never, they had the thing about them that they would never come and tell you directly what you're doing wrong. But if they spot you doing something wrong, they would come and tell a story about or around it. And, you can kind of get to the gist of what they're trying to say, the lesson behind it. So I feel in some sort of a way, you are trying to share your wisdom, what you learned, your experiences. Either you're a teacher, you're a tutor in college or school, or on some kind of inspirational leader or a guru or a spiritual guru that's teaching and mentoring younger people, younger generations. And this is also about, establishing stronger foundations. You might be advising, mentoring people on how to establish deeper foundations. This is also an energy where you might be guiding people on how to address the modern day issues based on the ancestral wisdom, like the time or how people did it, like the universal wisdom that probably got lost in time. You're probably guiding the generations of people to kind of take the advice of the ancestors and how they did things, the older wise one that, the people of yesteryears who walked this earth. You're trying to get that back, that kind of wisdom to solve modern day problems. I do get very spiritual vibes from this, this person's hair, eyebrows, everything is, just growing. So I do feel that you're very observing energy. You might be observing a lot. You might be sharing a lot of deeper thoughts and your deeper insights about things. This could also be, looks like a sage. Like you might be reading up a lot of texts related to wisdom or some kind of philosophy, religion. Something that imparts that wisdom, that guides people to make their wise decisions, informed decisions. Because, when the older people, then the wiser people are there guiding the younger ones, it actually improves their chances of success in real life. That's how it is. So I do feel that, and also along that, there is one called, I think it's called Elders Club or something like that. I think it's called Elders Council, I believe, where, it's like a portal. It's like a program that connects people of all ages, younger to older and midlife and things like that, where people or mentors who want to offer their advice and programs, they can transfer their knowledge and help guide younger people. Even like for their example, like the Shark Tank, the people that are over there, they're actually helping the younger ones get their business growing and things like that. So you could be seeing some kind of lectures of, wise saints or people of elderly and learning something from their life experiences, or how to navigate modern day challenges, some kind of a knowledge transfer. And some of you might be just, growing by. So when we become teachers and we teach, we actually learn some more ourselves. We get more wiser. We integrate that into our day-to-day life. It's not just about learning. It's about integrating everything that we teach and we've learned in our lives as well. So I do feel that at this point in time, Sagittarius, you're like, really, you've reached a certain kind of a maturity level in your understanding, in your studies, in your work, or some, kind of maturity you have over here, where you're able to advise people, where people can get some guidance from you. Maybe you're counselors, maybe you are, counselors, or maybe you are teachers, professors, you're creating books and, printing it online material for people to learn and get advice from you. Very philosophical, also could be in spirituality or philosophically also. This could be you also that's tuning into a lot of elders, spiritual elders or mentors or coaches, maybe in your own community or neighborhood. It's like, the saying that when you learn, teach, and when you get, give. It's the sage energy in general. When you learn, you teach. When you get, you give. That's what Sagittarius energy thrives on. So I do feel there's a lot of guidance energy here, spiritual energy, gurus, mentors, at a broader scale where you're trying to help them navigate life situation or modern day situations through ancient wisdom. The next card you have, Sagittarius, is Five of Cups and further says disappointment. And below it says, what feels lost is clearing the path for what's real. Yeah, so Sagittarius, for you specifically, 9th house energy, you're the mutable fire. And you have this Five of Cups. Cups is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and this is minor arcana. So the number 5 over here is also coming through strong with this energy. Now, Cups is more like the emotional landscape. So for you, I feel that, yes, there is disappointment in some area or in general, but this is like an emotional detox for you. It's a turning point for you, Sagittarius, is what I'm getting. Because here you are being directed or redirected. When we say redirection is God's protection, that's the kind of energy I feel for you. You are being directed to something of your higher calling, something that is true, that sits well true to your values, that sits well with you, that's, that's real. I feel that's real. There's a pentagram out here that's connecting these Five of Cups, which means it's divinely orchestrated, right? And these 5 points over here, that's how I see it, is the 5 elements that we are made of, or it's air, water, fire, and spirit. So there is a divine meaning to this. And of course, it feels bad in the moment, when promises are not kept by people, there's disappointments. People say something, do something else, or it could be work disappointments as well. I'm also hearing some kind of cancellations for you. Maybe there is some change in the itinerary, there is some change in kind of the events and you had to cancel up or they got canceled and now, you have to wait until later for those events to come back again. But there's some kind of a turning point for you right now, Sagittarius. It's like sometimes when we try for some universities, we don't get accepted, we get into something else, and there we find our soulmate. It's that kind of an energy where it does feel bad to be rejected by a certain university that we had our heart set on, but then you met your soulmate in the other place. This would also be, I feel that, it's like a stepping stone. This energy is like a stepping stone for you right now, Sagittarius, is what I'm getting. Like, you're getting to see the real picture. You're getting to cut through the illusions. It's like I would say that when people they get they meet their partners, they would be partners or potential partners, and then they get disappointed, and finally they are led to their soulmate, their final soulmate that sticks around, that the relationship goes for a long time. It's that kind of an energy. For some of you, you might be actually shifting up your belief and philosophy and practices to be more detached from experiences, like more I would say like kind of like detached from the outcomes, detached from expectations and things like that. You are trying to do that. You're trying to explore those areas where, you can turn disappointments into strengths and not really be so attached to the outcome that it disappoints in any way, is what I'm getting from these lotus leaves that are on top. If you see, it's binding and it's protecting. Lotus stands for wisdom. It's not being impacted by the muddy waters. We know where lotus grows, right? In the muddy waters. It's still beautiful. It's resilient. It still keeps growing. It still keeps shining. It's that kind of an energy where now you understand what really matters to you. It's that point where you're not chasing hollow dreams. You're chasing purpose. You're realizing that, all that glitters is not gold. You're looking at beyond the surface level. You're looking at things, people, situations beyond the surface level, beyond contracts. You're trying to see like, okay, I have this job. I got this new offer. It's offering so much money, but deep down, is it worth it? And then you're like, it's said, even scientifically, it's proved that, these situations where we are disappointed, it actually makes us more stronger mentally, because now we start looking at other options. We use our brain more. We solve problems, that part of our brain, that it gets more active and hyperactive. And that actually is good for our brain activity as well. It makes us stronger that ways. So this is your golden moment, Sagittarius. The energy out there is not dark. If you see the background, it's orange, it's amber, it's gold. So it's a time where you will turn your disappointments into something more powerful, into pearls of wisdom. It's that kind of an alchemy moment, because it's a disappointing chord, but the energy of it is yellow and bright. So this is fueling your growth at this point in time, because you're seeing the truth, you're seeing the reality of situations. So nothing fancy is going to, derail you or sway you. Especially, it's like, when you see clothes online and it looks so fancy, and those models walk in it and it looks even more glamorous, and you buy it and it turns out to be something else. It's that kind of disappointment. Like, you're not buying into that flashy stuff anymore. You're strong. You know your worth. You know what you are capable of. You know who you should be connecting with, who will support you, who understands you, and things like that. So more deeper truths that are shifting your perspective and your trajectory. And the last card for today, Sagittarius, you have is the sharing your wisdom number 37. So 3, 7, and 10 are coming through strong with this energy. Sharing your wisdom. This is Jupiter calling at you, Sagittarius, right? Further, it says here, my story is not just mine. It's a lantern for others. Yeah. Your experiences, everything that you have learned in the past, it's not just you. It's not just for yourself. You're the guiding light. You're the torch bearer right now, Sagittarius, I feel, for younger generations, or even for other people who are kind of, learning from you, who are, it reminds me of, some of you actually, Sagittarius, might be like scientists or something like that, or some kind of wiser, people that are working with younger generation to create change in some way. But a majority of you, I feel at this point in time, are sharing your life stories or writing it down or teaching higher education. Your energy right now is about knowledge transfer, passing down the knowledge, whether it's cultural knowledge, traditional knowledge, philosophy, or it's ancient practices, ancient wisdom, whatever it is. Right now, you're in the energy of just sharing what you know, passing down what you know. All of those experiences that you have had, you're broadcasting it out there, whether it's in your community, your friends, your family, online, offline, whatever this is, it's about empowering people through your negative experiences. For some of you, you might be just telling your younger generations the stories of the prior generations and something related to your family and ancestors as well, in order to, pass on the traditions or ancestral wisdom or things like that. Now, some of you could be inspirations as well, motivational speakers, and, leading the way for and inspiring people wherever you go, through your words, through your lectures, through you. Maybe you're a guru that's traveling and, giving wisdom to other people. And I also feel that whatever you're teaching, whatever you're saying, whatever you're inspiring other people's attitudes, I feel that it's very powerful. It has the power to bring about huge changes in society or in people's personalities or in their lives or in the way we do things. It's a very transformative or revolutionizing power that your wisdom, your words, your lectures, your stories has on people at this point in time. So I feel that you're just about, telling your stories. You could be writing it down, creating memoirs and things like that. You could be writing poetry and expressing your life experiences through music or through poetry or through media and creating content of that kind as well. Some of you could be sharing your family history, resources, recipes, traditions, and passing it down to the next generations. Some of you could also be collaborating with people on the other side of the world or from different countries and places. It's like, I've already spoke about those elders council where young and old come together, share ideas, mentor each other through different programs and scripts and knowledge base and things like that. But it's like you are the beacon right now for people. Now, these being general energies, Sagittarius will play out differently in your lives. Let me know how these energies play out in yours or the environment around you, and hope you enjoyed your messages. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.